through these two galleries, but I like to find some sort of a common thread between the three. So,
the unifying principle.
Yeah, whether they're exploring a similar medium but in different ways, or there's something thematic, just so there's some sort of a connective tissue, so to speak, between all of them. So once I sign up the shows, I manage that whole process of the contract, the timeline of selecting the artwork, getting everything to our PR director, working with our graphic artist on all the promotional materials, signage for the galleries, and then with the artist, they usually deliver the work for these two galleries, or arrange. I do a lot of the registrarial duties basically, and then work with an installation team to set and get a show up.
How many full-time staff do you have helping you with all of this?
3. And I'm not full-time, actually. I'm only here part-time. Okay. So we, being a nonprofit, we all wear a lot of hats. So, like, my installation team, our education director and education assistant assist me with that. And then, sometimes the front desk staff, we pull them in, or we have interns, an exhibition intern, so she'll help. So it's kind of an ad hoc.
That was a lot to do.
So how many employees do you
We're about 10 to 12. And,
okay.
We put on the Park City Arts Festival every year. And so in summer, our staff always seems to increase with employees helping to support get the festival up. We are a small staff.
I actually wanted to know more about that arts festival.
Sure.
Is that run by this museum?
The Kimballartcenter started it. We're now in our 43rd year.
Wow.
It's the oldest learning festival in Utah, and we've got over 50,000 people that come for the 3-day event, and about 220 artists. The majority, like 75% of them, are coming from out of state. So and then 25% are from Utah. And that's the first weekend of every August.
So what does that consist of? What do you guys do?
Is it just a bunch of booths with artists?
So they shut down Main Street, and we set up booths from the bottom to the top. And then, put up gates, and we do have music programmed with 2 to 3 different stages, but it's primarily focused on the exhibiting artists. And then we have a children's area. So there are, a bunch of side things that happen, but it's mainly, the focus is these 220 artists, and it's a juried event, so they have to apply. Last year we had over 900 applications, and again, we only select 220, so it's really grown in prestige, which has been great. And the festival itself is our primary fundraiser, so that's how we pretty much raise our operating costs for the year. And then, aside from that, we write a lot of grants and have a lot of generous donors, and then work a lot of sponsorship deals. Because all of our exhibitions are free, we don't charge admission. And nor do we want to. Like, that's really part of our mission as a community arts center, is to be free and accessible to the public.
So how do you allocate the money? Like, where do you decide what it goes to? What do you spend the most on?
Don't know the specifics of the budget, but with allocating, our director of development, I'll put together my budget, or say these are the shows I would like to bring on board, and here's my budget. So together she'll figure out, how she can slice that with grants and raising sponsorship funds, and then similar thing happens with the education department. And then we do a lot of private events, so that brings in a lot of revenue. So it's kind of
private events.
people have weddings, and we do a lot of parties, and then Sundance Film Festival, they rent out our entire building except for our back offices for about 2.5 weeks. And that's a big rental fee for us.
So how do you accommodate weddings and other parties?
It can be tricky, and different shows have different provisions, so we have to we do have to turn a lot of people away depending. Like this show, we can't move any of the art, no food or drink or photography, so it's hard to do anything. But other shows we have, there is more flexibility to move things around, and transform the space for an event. You know, we also have the downstairs gallery and this space, which are more flexible. And we've done so many different kinds of events. I laugh, even this summer we had like a 3-day hair event. I know that sounds funny, but this big hair event out of New York came to Park City of all places, and they like literally set up a on-stage hair studio in the main gallery.
Wow.
We're like doing people's hair for 3 days straight, and so
That sounds exciting.
but those event facility rentals, it's a great way to make money. But that is a challenge we have, though, is, you know, it is, you know, it's a really big revenue stream for us, but our mission is to present art, and not every show will accommodate an event, so it is hard to sometimes turn away things.
I'm sorry if you already answered this question, but how do you find the exhibits that you show? How do you find the art? Do people come and petition you, or do you go find them?
Both ways. Yeah, a variety of ways. We have a submission process, so, you know, artists applying or submitting for a show. I research a lot of things, like I researched and found this show. And then the exhibition committee or community members even coming to us and saying, hey, have you thought about this? Have you seen this artist? And then I'll look into it and present it to the committee, and we'll see if it's the right fit for us.
Okay.
Have you guys ever had any like controversy over any shows, like about some of the pieces, or about just in general, or do you avoid any of some things?
Wow. You know, we've been pretty lucky in the controversy. Nothing too scandalous. And, you know, we do a lot of school tours, so I can think of, like, 2 shows where we withheld, like, our education director said, you know, I don't know how I'm going to explain this to children. And so we pulled a piece that was a little, you know, explicit with some nudity and sexual. But, you know, we have shown nudes, and you know, it's a pretty liberal community here, so like I said, I can only name 2 instances where we've had to, like, censor a piece or omit it just because there was a comfort level there.
Yeah.
So, nothing too scandalous.
Okay. What about, like, I saw a lot of religious ones in there. Were you guys worried about that, or did you just thought it was good?
No, because it was to a certain degree. We also kind of feel like, again, we're a community arts center, so you're going to represent all interests, and you know, with every show we kind of know you're going to hit a certain sector of the community, and, you know, really get them excited, and then maybe for others it's, you know, with that show it's not going to elicit a lot of excitement, and but sometimes a little bit of scandal is good because it gets people talking and coming through the door, and sometimes they'll change how they originally reacted to something. So we haven't pushed the envelope too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you've had any security issues here.
We haven't. I mean, we don't have the most robust security, that's for sure. This year we have had a couple of incidents. I'm coming into my 10th year here, and this past year is the first year where I've had to deal with artwork being breaking or damaged. Nothing's ever been stolen. So, you know, just the challenge being we are shoestring staff, and sometimes the front desk person gets really busy between, you know, helping people come through the door, or we have art studios downstairs. You know, someone wants to buy clay, or they need something in the ceramic studio, and so we have actually for some shows hired outside security to be in the gallery. And like this upcoming show, we're doing that just because the insurance value is so high and the nature of the show, it required it.
You mentioned pieces getting damaged. You've had pieces get damaged before?
Yeah, a private event, that was one, the hair event, actually. And, you know, everything's insured. It's really unfortunate that they bumped into a photograph and just totally destroyed it. So, but that's like the worst call you can make to an artist. I mean, he was compensated financially, but still, it just, it was like, that was not a good day.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens, you know what I mean, or with tours, you know, sometimes people just, like, even when we're sitting on a show, you have to think about spatially, you know, people have bags and coats and